Today's creative world is entertainment.
Today's guests are from the Starlight Runner Entertainment creative team, led by CEO Jeff Gomez, whom we have previously interviewed. They make up the world's leading producer of transmedia entertainment.
Their projects span works across Walt Disney, Sony Pictures, 20th Century Fox, and many more, inspiring new media opportunities and never-before-seen revenue streams. Please welcome EJ Kulukundis, Mark Pensavalli, Chrysula Artemis,
Evangelia Artemis Gomez, and Andrew Wong.
So we're here with the team of Starlight Runner. Nice to meet you guys.
Nice to meet you.
Could you guys go ahead and briefly introduce your guys' self as well as your positions? Maybe Mark, you can start us off.
Sure. So I'm Mark Pensavalli, Executive Vice President of Production and Operations at Starlight Runner. And I basically make the trains work. So I keep everything on track, keep everything moving forward. And the overall business aspect of Starlight Runner flows through Jeff and myself. And I keep the creatives in line because they tend to lose their minds. But I don't know, they don't consider that, but yes. And so that's basically my role at Starlight Runner, besides budgets and basic corporate analysis and everything else, is just to keep the trains running for the company itself.
Chrysula Artemis, I'm the Chief Creative Officer of Starlight Runner. I examine the properties that come to our office, and I look at the branding and then create the designs to accommodate each property. And I create the presentations, whether it's the mythology presentations or whether it's PowerPoints and keynotes and any other medium that needs to be presented to the client.
Hi, I'm Evangelia Artemis Gomez. I'm a writer for Ultraman Connection, and I do writing work on a lot of Starlight Runner projects.
Hi, I'm Andrew Wong. I'm a writer and a content producer for Starlight Runner, specifically for the Ultraman Connection website. You might have seen me on Creative World for the Godzilla Alert segment as G Fervor on Luminous News. So in addition to Godzilla, I also love Ultraman and have been a fan since childhood. And not only do I love the films, but I also love collecting the figures and various products and other memorabilia. So it is my dream one day to create a tokusatsu museum.
Hi, I'm EJ Kulukundis. I'm the editor-in-chief of Ultraman Connection. In essence, that essentially just means that I am the one who helps keep everyone on track, specifically from an Ultraman point of view. We have a lot of really talented writers and a lot of really different and interesting perspectives. So I kind of have to be occasionally the guiding path to make sure all those bring what Ultraman is and what Ultraman can be to everyone out there.
I see. I mean, it's so nice to see you guys. So nice to see you again, Andrew. So let's get straight into your interview. So starting us off, Mark, why did you guys decide to enter the transmedia industry, considering the industry is still relatively new?
Well, Starlight Runner has been around for over 20 years. So when Jeff, Chrysula, and I started Starlight Runner, the term transmedia really didn't exist. Okay, but the concept did, but the actual term didn't. It was Starlight Runner and a gentleman by the name of Henry Jenkins in two different locations who came up with the term transmedia back in around 2001, 2002. So we're talking 20 years ago. So that concept of transmedia grew from that time, primarily from Starlight Runner itself. There were other little companies who were starting to do it, but also Starlight Runner was on the leading edge of going into larger companies with their properties to teach them how to create transmedia back then. They still didn't understand the word. and how to teach them to do this concept, create their properties, expand them through multiple media platforms at the same time. It was difficult. Today, everyone does it. It's as if you don't do it, you're an odd entity. But back then, it was very difficult. So, us starting it when it's relatively new today is not really correct for us in the sense of Jeff, Chrysula, and I, and Starlight Runner. We're at the forefront of this. So it's exciting that everyone has caught up over the years for us.
So you guys are kind of like the pioneers of this industry, but Chrysula, what does transmedia kind of mean to you? Could you give us like a brief definition or what it means just to you?
Transmedia is when you have an intellectual property and you can use it take it from its original format. So let's say it was a movie and explore the world of that intellectual property and then create a mythology around it, making sure that there is a canon and that everything within that universe of that intellectual property is true for what that is, for that property, and then explore different stories that is centered within that universe in different mediums.
Where did each of you get your start in this industry?
So we're going way back. I started managing indie rock bands in the 90s in New York City. And that's where my creative juices were forged, which was a lot of fun. However, to make money at that time, it was difficult to make it in the music industry to make money. So I worked in publishing, and I worked for Random House and HarperCollins at the time. Soon after joining in publishing, the creative aspect of publishing and book publishing was changing. It was becoming more cookie cutter and rote and repetitive, and I was getting bored. At that particular time, Jeff reached out to me and asked if I wanted to create this crazy company called Starlight Runner and do some insane work that no one has ever heard of before. And I said, sure, why not? And that's how I started with what we're calling transmedia today, and with Jeff and Chrysula back then. And that's how I got my start in this way of storytelling that we do today.
So I had met Jeff back in college, and he had a magazine at the time called Gateways, and every so often he would ask me if I would like to draw something for the magazine. And so that's when we had first met, and we used to, do our, fun college projects together. Then years later, we reconnected again, and we started working at Valiant Comics. And he was an editor, and I used to color the comic books at that time. And eventually, I learned Photoshop. It had just come out, the program. This is how many years ago we're talking. And so I learned the program, and then I started learning all the other digital programs. And I had started a company after Valiant closed, called Starlight Runner, and basically I had hired a lot of the comic book artists that were out of work at the time, and I was training them on how to use Photoshop, and we had like this freelance collective, and we would do comic book coloring for all these companies that needed Photoshop artists to do the comic book coloring. And then at one point, Jeff and I were like, he had this idea that he wanted to do. He goes, I'm not sure exactly how to put it, but, it's innovative, and we're going to be taking a chance, and it's risky, but, I really, really believe in this. So I said, okay, let's give it a shot and see what happens. And then, Mark joined the team, and we started out trying to figure how to make this thing work. And years later, 2 decades later, this is what we created.
I kind of fell into the industry by accident. It was a very fun happenstance that led me to meeting Jeff. It was Ultraman of all things, as well as being a fan of some of the things that he created during his time. He's created a lot of fascinating properties. I remember growing up with Hot Wheels World Race, which was one of his things that he created. So that was enough to make me follow him. And then as I learned about transmedia, it really appealed to me, this sense of connection, the ability to create something that can draw people from all walks of life and all breadths of experience to this one unified element that they all love, and all of them are collected through trans.
This episode will be available on YouTube this coming Saturday. For details, please check out our Facebook page. Next, more exciting materials to show you all.
今日はうどんだよって言うとみんな喜ぶ。家にあって安心。すぐに食べれていつでもおいしい家族の味方。昔も今もこれからも。なんかいい匂いするね。おかえり。食卓を支える安心の味であり続けたい。白菊のさぬきやうどん。
一度ダメだったとしてもチャンスはまたあるんで。夢をこう持ち続けてなんか頑張ってほしいなというふうに思いますね。
Next,
Let's jam with
Yoyoka!
Hello, this is Yoyoka. Here is my video. Enjoy! Thank you for watching. See you next time.
Next, Godzilla alert!
Hello, this is Heisenberg.
Hey there, this is G Forever, and we are Luminous News on YouTube.
Yes, and we're here to review the Mothra 2019 action figure from Haya Toys. And here's the box.
Yes, the Haya Mothra 2019 from the movie Godzilla King of the Monsters.
Yeah, this is part of their exquisite basic series of action figures. and sells for $50 in the US at Big Bad Toy Store. Already sold out.
Yes, and she's really well done. I really love the paintwork on the wings, and what's really neat and unique about this particular Mothra is it features the color from the movie and also the luminescent paintwork kind of towards the center of the wings, which has not been really seen on other action figures of Mothra.
Yeah, the blue. Yeah, very cool. Yeah, it's a 14-inch wingspan from, wingtip to wingtip, 14 inches. Also has about 11 points of articulation.
Yes.
As we're about to see. So not just the wing, so it's more than just the wings that move.
Yes, even the each leg also has articulation, which is very unique because I think the NECA does not have that much articulation, and the Monster Arts has some of the articulation, but I think the sculpt on the Haya is definitely, and the paintwork is definitely superior to both of them.
Yeah, it looks like very nice, very colorful. Not just that addition of the blue, but it looks like the colors are, there's a nice array of colors on her.
And if you notice, the wings have 2 points of articulation, the ball joint and also the, I don't know what you call it, the peg points.
Yeah, it can also spin.
Spin, yes.
So here it is with the other Mothras 2019. So first we're looking once again at the Haya on the left, and then to the right of that is the NECA Mothra 2019 poster version. So that's the blue version.
Yep.
And then to the right of that, as we'll see, is the standard NECA. So there's the 2 NECAs.
Yep.
And then later on to the right of that is the SH Monster Arts. But right now we're looking at the NECAs here.
Yes.
And they're quite nice, but again, not you don't get sort of like the red color that you get on the Haya.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the NECAs are definitely really nice. The bases are beautiful, but I think the Haya wins with the kind of more of the brown paint on the body and also has the luminescence paint on the wings.
Yeah, and this is the SH Monster Arts that we're looking at right now on the right.
Yes, which I find to be the most disappointing release of all the Mothras.
Yes. So do you want to sum up, G Forever?
What a great release from Haya Toys. The paintwork and the sculpt is fantastic.
Oh, absolutely. This is Heisenberg.
And G Forever, hoping you enjoy the Haya Mothra 2019.
We hope you enjoy the show. We will continue to introduce successful people from various fields, as well as supporting young up-and-coming talents who are passionate and dedicated to advancing their careers in their industries. Don't forget to tune in. Until then, you have a wonderful week. See you next time.
Let's see who our guest is on the next episode.
Hi, I'm Joseph from Libera. Thank you for tuning in to Creative World. Bye!
See you next week. Bye! Please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Also, please check out our social media sites at CWTV Hollywood.
Tradition is tasted, resplendent with grain. Sips of time slip through light. I'd hold this taste to feel forever. It pours a century of wisdom. It pours a generation of legacy. Sourced from a sacred mountain, it rises. How many ways can this taste dazzle in days? This taste lives forever. Barley Shochu, Mugio.
チャンスはたくさんあると思うので、本当に自分が思った時に何か行動をするということが一番大事だと思うので、そういう自分のこの瞬間的な気持ちみたいなものをなんかこう持っててほしいし。
Thank you so much for coming today. And nice to meet you for everyone who is live streaming right now. I am Natalie Emmons, your host for today. The title of the show is Wish, as in reaching for your dreams, wish. And today, the program is going to fly by, so please enjoy every spectacular moment. 皆さん、楽しんでいってください!
ダメだったとしてもチャンスはまたあるんで、若ければ若いほど、そういう意味では夢をこう持ち続けてなんか頑張ってほしいなというふうに思いますね。